quote St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8, where creation is wailing in travails for the revealing of the sons of God. And you quote Revelation 21, seeing a new heaven and a new earth. And your question is, how can we hope that a new man, a regenerated man, will one day walk the earth? Maybe not in our lifetime, you say, but in some distant future. The new man is not a distant future, is not a transformation of the human race. You have quoted mystic visions and teachings and taken them in a literalistic way, which then places new man into some strange, fantastic future. When the reality is that the new man, the new person, is meant to exist here and now. And the only question is, what are you doing about it? Are you moving from the old self to the new? Are you maturing in Christ? Are you eating of the meat of the teachings rather than the milk, so that the mind of Christ, a greater consciousness and awareness of God, can be at the center of your existence? That idea of a cosmic shift for creation in a future that belongs in a science fiction book is a projection, a misunderstanding of the existential reality of now. When you choose to consciously overcome yourself, go against the current of what has been, in the name of God, for the sake of the good, out of love of God, the new man, the new person is appearing. And as you incarnate this conscious goodness and understanding and remembrance of God, creation is impacted right here, right now. Creation groans because no one is seeing its essential source, origin, nature, purpose. It is used and dominated, taken for granted, walked over instead of loved, recognized. When you see beauty in the flower, in a spring sky, or in the falling rain, its purpose, its existence is recognized for what it truly is, for the wonder that it is. And then it is not groaning anymore in that moment, because it is seen by you, by the eyes of the universe, through you, becoming witness to itself. The new heaven and the new earth is not made out of matter. It is a state of being, dimension of consciousness, ultimate flowering, outside, beyond the horror and tragedy of this life for so many, into existence on a plane of being where there shall be no more tears. There will always be tears in the temporal, in the confusion and ignorance and cruelty and limitations of human existence. Which is why the new man is needed in that mess to help others arise out of it. and know that there is a place, a way of being, where there shall be no more tears. Perhaps you are unfamiliar with my presentation on the mystic symbolism of the book of Revelation. You may find that a significant roadmap to understanding this profound book of numerology and codes and ancient symbols that cannot be read on the surface. So in reference to your question, here is a brief passage from that presentation. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. Revelation 21:1. 2 Peter 3:13. But in accordance with his promise, we wait for new heavens and a new earth, where righteousness is at home. The new heaven and new earth represent a new mind and a new heart. Throughout the Old Testament, you may have noticed that the Lord makes occasional reference to giving us new hearts or circumcising our hearts. The new heaven and new earth John sees is humanity's perfected state of consciousness and regenerated body. The human mind at this point is now one with the divine in the perfection of control and free from outside limitations. I will write on you the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem that comes down from my God out of heaven. The number value of New Jerusalem is 1224, which is also the numerical value of the Greek word for fish. This same number includes God's creation, paradise, and I am the way. The word Jerusalem means sacred peace. So the New Jerusalem is the evolved soul in oneness with divinity. When humanity recognizes the divinity within them as the controlling force in the world and turns away from their own selfish patterns of living for self alone, the old pattern disappears and the Christ pattern emerges. This is the meaning in these ancient, precious, esoteric words. We cannot take them on the surface. We cannot turn them into something material and in time, because then we are lost to the teaching they contain. So I say to you again, the new man walks this earth when you walk this earth in consciousness and love of God. And then that butterfly effect takes place that impacts more than you can ever imagine, that changes vibrations and brings positive energy and creative wisdom and love into this world. This is our purpose here and now. This is a mystic vision. This is not a moment in the future. This is a consciousness of God who does make all things new. And the only issue is he making things new for you? Are you, like John of Patmos, beginning to see the spiritual dimension of our reality? The space within, where there are no more tears because understanding and communion with the holy is taking place. The whole point is for each of us to become the new man, the new creation, the new Jerusalem, the wonder, the mystery, the glory, the bliss is for us now. Today you can walk through your day, your morning, in the expanded, glorious consciousness of gratitude and joy at being here now in God's universe, transcendent of all the foolishness of humanity and its ignorance around you. You be that light in the eyes that saves creation, that gives hope to others, that reminds children that there are adults who know something, who have found the secret, who are no longer in the night of identification, negativity, falsity, barrenness. The Alpha and the Omega talks to us from a dimension that is not in time, that is beyond our mental capacities to understand, but that has everything to do with our becoming. We are the new creation, which makes us ambassadors of Christ, which makes us the first fruits of many, which continues the purpose and mission of Christ in this world, not to turn the external world into some paradise, but to bring the human soul into its apotheosis, its fullness and plenitude, its blossoming, one at a time, and then another and another. But the new man will never walk the earth as a species, because it can never be automatic. It is consciousness itself manifesting, incarnating, appearing in our mortal flesh. And for that light to come on, we must use what free will we have, what attentiveness, what heart, what care, what sacrifice is necessary to light the flame to the glory of God. Then the new man is here.